This is Elizabeth Pluswick, and we're going to run through a concept called annuities and give you an example from the book, and then also another example of how you can use annuities to solve your everyday financial problems. So an annuity is, remember, an annuity designated by the letter A in the engineering functional notation is simply a series of payments, the same amount every year happening, or every period, the same amount happening over and over again for multiple time periods, but it's the same amount. So you can draw a line on the timeline here. It's the same amount. That means it's an annuity. Same dollar amount happening multiple times. And so let's look at example 15.6 from your handout. It's on page 606. And the question is, a fund is established to produce a desired amount of money at the end of a given period by means of a series of payments throughout the period is called a sinking fund. It's the intent of a sinking fund is to accumulate money into a fund for some future purpose. In this example, it's to replace a $10,000 machine at the end of 12 years. And then the question is, how much should be deposited in the sinking fund each year? Assume the fund earns an annual 10% annual rate of interest. So what we have here is we're saying, how much money do we have to put away every year, the same amount every year, in order at the end of 12 years to have $10,000 sitting in cash, sitting in the account so we can buy that new machine. The future cost is $10,000 estimated, and at the end of 12 years, how much do we have to put away every year? So here's how you solve that. The annual sinking fund deposit A, so you're basically saying find A given F. So the future value of the machine that we're going to buy 12 years in the future, the cost of that is $10,000 in the future. In 12 years, we're going to need $10,000. So that's the future value. And we want to find A, the annual deposit needed, so at the end of 12 years, we'll have that $10,000. So we set it up as find A given F, annual interest rate of 10%, and it's for a 12-year term. So what we're given is the F, $10,000, times a factor. So this part tells us how to find that factor. So what we need to do is go to the interest rate tables, and this was for interest rate of 10% for 12 years. So I go right to the interest table for 10%. That's our annual interest rate. And what column do we want? Find A given F. So we're over here in this column on the 10% interest table. Go over to the find A given F. Remember, we're given $10,000 future cash need, and we're looking for A. So we go to this column, and it was in 12 years. So we go down to N equals 12 and go across and find the corresponding factor, 0.0468. So that's the factor that we want, 0.0468. Multiplied by our future value times, that's the factor that corresponds to this functional notation on the 10% interest table, line 12 for the years, find A given F. That's the factor. Multiply it by the future value that we need, and we get an annual deposit of $468 is what we need then. If we do that 12 times and the fund continues to earn 10%, then at the end of the 12 years we will have the future value desired of $10,000. So that's a way that we're looking to find the amount of a deposit needed, the same amount every year for 12 years, assume it earns 10% interest, and then at the end of the 12 years, we'll have the required $10,000. Now, another way to use this for your personal financial planning is have your future value be the amount that you want to put into, that you want to have in your retirement account, in your 401k, by the time you retire. That's the future value. And then the annuity would be how much do you have to put away every year or every month. You can decide how to set it up, but say every year, how much is the annuity that you need to put away into your retirement account, earning like a 7% rate of return perhaps, and so that you'll have your $1 million or $2 million or whatever you set aside as your future goal for your retirement fund by the time you retire. So then that is for solving for A, what is the annuity amount deposited every year in order to reach that future goal. So that's annuities.